All right, good evening and welcome to Collector Cars. I'm Lance, your host. With me in the studio, all the way from Englewood, Mr. Dan Rupright. How you doing?
Yep.
Put your glasses on. Put your glasses on.
Put my glasses on.
Put your glasses on. And from Venice, Mr. Mark Petty. And notice Mark is the only one that can actually see me in 3D. Is that frightening?
Do you want the 3Ds?
Didn't they use those for horror movies?
Yes.
To scare you with something jumping out at you?
Yeah.
Did I jump out at you?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, I have a window you can jump out of.
Oh, it's going to be a long night.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Mergens is he is doing some promotion tonight up at a car club meeting in Tampa, I believe. Big Chevy club and so forth. And, you know, Mergens obviously is a Chevy guy.
Yeah, drives a
he's
Mustang.
showing them all his wares and calendars and stuff and whatnot. It's a big group of guys that came up last week to Quaker Steak. What did you think of Quaker Steak and Lube, Mr. Rupright?
Nice.
Wasn't that cool stuff?
I figured, yeah.
The place,
nice
the way he's got, I'll tell you, this is a young guy. You'd imagine somebody who owns something like that being, you know, some old fat gray-haired guy, you know, especially owning a restaurant. This is a young guy, and he just, I mean, he is just marketing something fierce up there. Bike nights. He's had as many as 4,000 bikes on bike night.
Yeah.
That's a lot of motorcycles, you know. I mean, that's going some. He promotes it well. He loves what we're doing. He sat and had a long talk with me the other day. We've got another one scheduled in October. The every 3-month thing, he's loving it. And every time we go there, we're pretty much packing the place. So great show, great stuff. We've been really, really happy with it. Now, I have, you know, naturally I have my notes from Dan Rupright because you took a trip back home to
Michigan, Flint, Michigan.
Flint, Michigan. Okay, and you worked for GM up there, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Originally, it was AC spark plug.
Okay.
Yeah. Then it was Delphi, and that's what it is now for a little while longer.
For a little while longer.
Yeah.
Well, you never know. Things change on a daily basis anymore.
It does.
But you went up there and you were doing some car shows. Now, tell me, what's the difference between what the car shows I do here and the shows up there? Is there a same type of stuff? Or?
No, this show that I was going to in Davidson is more like that one on Dearborn Street in Englewood.
More like a cruise.
Cruise in,
Okay.
yeah. Right. But there was a DJ there.
You got a full spectrum of stuff. Down here, you've got the cruise nights. Just free shows, you know, cruise in, shoot the baloney, you know, go home.
Right.
You got the car shows that I do, open shows. You know, there's no big stringent judging or anything. It's to have fun. We recognize the people with the trophies and so forth. Then you have AACA. They get more into the points and that type judging. You got Larry Dudley does his classes and all that kind of stuff and gets more toward a competition aspect of it, put it that way. And so you've got a pretty wide variety of shows down here. And the amazing thing is with all the shows that are going on, if you look at that schedule, Mark,
oh yeah,
my goodness. I mean, I myself am doing 10, 12, 14 shows a month. October, I've got 19 shows. But you watch, every one of those shows will have a crowd. Now we have, with Mark Petty, we have something special. It was how many years ago in October?
10 years.
10 years in October. Mark Petty came to me at, was it Chick-fil-A or was it?
No, it was
Winn-Dixie.
Yeah, Winn-Dixie, right there by Burger.
And you pretty much pestered me.
Yeah.
He came to every show, and it was, when are you going to come down to Venice and do a show with us? When are you coming down to Venice?
Yeah, there was nothing in Venice other than the one at McDonald's.
And that was it.
Yeah.
Well, Dan, I'll tell you. Finally, I looked at him and I said, okay, smart guy, tell you what, get me a location, get me a few sponsors, you know, and all that, put all that together, and I'll come do a show. The following week, he comes to me and he said, "There's your location, there's your sponsors, what's the date?"
Yep.
I said, "Oh, okay then." And we started at Checkers.
Yep.
And those sponsors, Bill Buck,
Juniors.
Juniors, and there was 4 of them.
Stanley Dean.
Stanley Dean, Insurance, and the guy who had the cancer. And I forget his name. What was that insurance guy?
The Nationwide guy, Barry.
Nationwide.
Yes.
Yes, Barry at Nationwide. I haven't
yep.
seen him in quite a while.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, and of those 4 sponsors, we still have 2 of them 10 years later, still
Yep.
stuck with us all these years.
Yeah.
And Checkers just grew, and Mark has beautiful display, every dash plaque that we did down there for every show, with the car count, the weather conditions, everything. And that show started and literally grew to where we had a grand prize show down there with
229 cars.
229 cars.
They told us it wouldn't happen in Venice.
Yeah, out of Checkers.
Yeah, that show was going on in McDonald's. They weren't
Yeah.
getting 10 cars in
Right.
a show. He
Right.
said we couldn't do it.
And we built that thing up to 229 cars.
Yep.
And then now this month, this coming month in October, when we do our Albertson show, because we had to move it from Checkers to Albertson when they were doing all that construction and everything, we're going to do a grand prize show at Albertson to commemorate the 10-year anniversary of that show,
Yep.
that Third Friday show.
Yeah.
Somebody told me it was going to be a grand prize show at
Yep.
Albertsons.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're going to do it.
Yep.
It's going to be a good one. Now, I specifically asked you to come on the show, Dan, because I have all the pictures from your car show there in Flint, Michigan. Since you know all these cars,
Well, the
since you
show-
photographed all these cars,
The shows were actually in Davison,
he's giving
Michigan.
his discllmer now.
Yes. Yep.
The show was where?
Actually in Davison, Michigan, a little
Davison,
town
Michigan.
outside of Flint.
Little town outside.
Yeah, a
of Flint.
couple miles or so.
Okay. All right. Well, Mr. Perkins, if you're ready, roll that footage. This is a cute little town. Photography by Dan Ruprecht. Huh?
You got lucky, it worked.
All right. Now, Dan, you're on. Take it away.
Oh,
You can see it's pretty much like Dearborn Street.
It's-
I mean,
yeah.
that's a
I don't know the cars like I used to.
Mustang, 71.
There was
71,
really some nice
Something-
cars up there.
71, 72,
Mark
that,
1.
that body
Yeah,
style.
that body style.
I like that.
Looks like
Ah, now this I thought was your daughter.
No,
When I
no,
first looked
no.
at the picture, and I didn't realize that's Jackie Helpel.
Yep, Jackie, I've had her in the camera for quite a while now.
So I pretty much got everything that was in the camera.
Right, you got everything. That's why I went through and checked it before you got it.
That was a gorgeous.
now these
stuff.
guys only have shows for 6 months a year.
Right.
You know, this
Right.
is not like us where we're doing 12 months
Well,
a
they
year.
don't even have 6 months. I
Six-
mean,
4
maybe
months a year?
4 months.
Yeah,
4 months max. That's gorgeous.
34.
Really beautiful cars up there. It surprised me there was that many of them. I mean, this place pulled anywhere to 150 to 200, and this was done every Friday night.
Was it?
Yeah, 4
Camaro.
times a month.
Ah, Mr.
Firebird.
Mergens is missing it. Check that Camaro out. And is that's a convertible? isn't it?
Firebird or Camaro?
No, that's,
Firebird. Yeah.
yeah.
See, now Bill would know the years.
He's yelling at
Yeah,
us, telling
see,
us what
I can't
year it
keep
is
up
by
with
the
that
hockey
stuff
stripe
anymore.
stick. Yeah, he's yelling.
Beautiful Impala.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's really nice looking cars up there.
And they
original.
draw 150 or so, huh? for a cruise
150 to 200, yeah.
tank? No kidding.
It's all original GTO.
65?
Yeah, it
The
looks
smallest
like
show up
two
there,
barrels on it.
I think it was about 90 cars.
Really?
Yep, next one was about 150, and then I went to the next one, and it was
No
200.
problem.
They were parked in behind the buildings in the other parking lots.
Mopar? What do you think, Mark?
About 69,
69? Good looking
Nova.
car.
70.
Nice Nova.
Yeah.
70 Nova.
I actually ran into a couple of guys I used to work with.
Did you?
I didn't even know they were interested in cars.
It's a nice looking truck.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at all these little stores in the background. This is a neat little town.
It is. It is.
Very cool little town.
There you go. 32.
It's a very popular little town. A lot of people
Can't
from
see the
Detroit
front.
live and work up in that, or live